aims of the English syllabus, as outlined, were very attractive. It suggested to me that the people who've been writing it are people who care as well as know about teaching English. We can see that it rewards the right boys for the right skills, which certainly wasn't our experience before.
What stood out is the fact that, as opposed to other exam boards, it's fairly non-prescriptive, and so there's a lot of flexibility in the way that you can teach. And I think the sort of flexibility of the assessment objectives and the course requirements mean that they're able to do that.
The unseen element of the literature qualification, I think, is absolutely crucial, and it's what makes IGCSE better than all the other syllabuses. They like being able to just respond to something they haven't seen before, write about what they think, and that shows. And it shows at the top end as well. The middle can do either way, and that's usually the way. The more interesting to me is it catches the bottom and it stretches the top.
The benefits, there are lots of different skills. You get to do a variety of things with text and poetry, and then it's just a wide, broad outlook that you can use.
It sets you up well for A-level and other things with the extra skills you'll gain.
They begin to rely less on handouts, they begin to rely less on the teacher, and they begin to have their own thoughts about it. And I always say to boys when they come into my classroom that, unlucky, you've got to engage your heart as well as your head, because that's that kind of subject. And the great thing about IGCSE is it does do precisely that. All right, I want 3 different tonal descriptors. Then I want a statement that enables them to encounter a huge range of literature that they wouldn't get just from set text.
You get the very sort of traditional voices like Byron and John Clare, but you also get Jamaican poets, American poets, and so there's sort of a real kind of international flavour.
I like the fact that we study pieces of writing from a variety of authors with different nationalities, so you get a wider outlook of writers.
Right? But there's something about her that remains unchanged, even though everything on the outside is deteriorating.
The great thing about a 2-year course, the linear course, is you can have the space and the time to do something in depth.
By the time they get to the end, they've had 2 years exposure to these texts, and they're just more mature thinkers.
It's a much more helpful mode of assessment. It means genuinely that they are allowed to study. It doesn't mean, of course, that you're not assessing them along the way, but the terminal assessment after 2 years is also akin to, hopefully, the best practice post-16, which would, in my opinion, would be pre-U, and then certainly in university.
I would say that I think that they should seriously consider it. I mean, particularly if you've got an intake that is where you've got a wide range of ability, where you've got a range of different backgrounds, where everything turns and you've almost got a visual, or if you're reading...
3 key points about form or technique. What's going on? Is there lots of imagery? Does it rely on rhyme? You've got the freedom and you've got the breadth of texts, and you've got the excitement of teaching unseen. Teachers became reinvigorated, and the English department's a different place since they've taught it.